Okay, I'm back live, and I'm going to continue from where I was yesterday. Yesterday I left it around here. I was talking about my dream audience, and I said that I wanted, I had these two groups in mind. I was thinking of the friendly ambitious nerds with the ambition, aka the tech people, and the friendly nerds, but maybe not as ambitious as maybe just like regular audience for the car thing. And the other thing, the tech people, was for me having a job. Then, how do you want to be perceived? How you'd like people to talk about you? I was saying that I don't want the bad kind of fame. I don't want to be perceived in the bad fame thing, like the reality TV show fame, where people just comment dumb shit on your Instagram comments, or on the YouTube comments they start talking about you and they care about your relationships and all that a lot. But just, I don't know, for things, that kind of fame, I don't really want it. But I do want some kind of recognition, at least, as in friendly vibes or something like that. And that was basically what I saw. Then because he says, like, ideally someone he asked this question to said that they don't want to be perceived, and I'm not in that case. I do want to be perceived, at least in some ways, but not in the bad ways. Then the next thing was several clients will recognize the expedition, because that's like the framework he used for it, and it was like basically asking for people's time, money and attention. How can you make them feel good in the investment? As in, I guess this is kind of like the pitch from the perspective of kind of maybe Christopher Columbus, that asked the Queen Elizabeth and King Fernando the shit, like the money and the resources and all that, to go to the Americas, or to the Indies in this case, or like the Antarctic people like Scott Amundsen and all those who wanted to go to the Antarctica. I guess they had to ask some more money for this, and the pitch, the adventure, the expedition was kind of this grand thing, right? They promised riches and all that, and this is how he tries to ask people to help him frame that for them and all that. And I'm thinking of it, and this is definitely something I could think about, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to frame it. This is kind of white pilling, that you don't need to promise guaranteed results, because that's definitely not my vibe. Don't promise anything you can't actually guarantee. What you can guarantee is effort. This is true. I am going to explore these areas and share with you what I find. Promise interestingness, adventure, or whatever fits your archetype. And I'm not exactly sure what my archetype is in this case. I'm going to pause because I think I see people around here. Well, fuck it, I'm going to keep it rolling. Not sure if I'm still here or not. Am I still here? I hope so. Okay, so you don't need to promise guaranteed results. You can promise effort, and I'm not sure what kind of effort can I promise, in the sense of interesting adventure or whatever fits my archetype. My mind gravitates to like curiosity, or kind of digging deeper, or not sure if deeper is the word, but like digging around. So maybe not exactly deep, but like trying to come up with connections from different places or something like that. I think that is more my vibe, like this kind of ADHD type vibe, rather than elephant beta, was it beta? I don't know, no, kappa, this kappa archetype of elephant wisdom type thing. I'm more of a, I think it's bata. I'm more of a, I guess, bata mind of going like faster on different places and then forgetting. In the Ayurveda type of scenario I'm talking about, by the way. So yeah, I'm going to, I think that could be my thing. I could kind of promise that type of vibe. Should you write a book unless it's super meaningful, blah blah blah, I recommend against it. Yeah, I didn't have writing a book in that kind of sense. I have other ideas, but those are more tangential to this mission. But I would also have to think about that because it's an important part, I guess, of self-discovery and my journey or whatever. But yeah, I don't really like to talk about that. I get a lot of clients who are bridged between worlds, i.e. someone who straddles multiple domains or contexts. They're often self-conscious about this, and I spend a bunch of time reassuring them that being a translator is valuable even if you aren't Shakespeare and Dante combined. Yeah, I think if I'm in some kind of camp, I'm probably in this camp, but I don't know exactly what. Yeah, because translators are just like a two thing usually, right? So it's like from English to Spanish, and I'm not sure if I'm just some kind of I will bring engineering to the corporate people type person, or I'm not sure if I'm kind of locked into this single kind of vibe. I know I like this power of the internet thing, and that's kind of my vibe lately, but I don't really know where do I want to take it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to go like forward and be kind of this translating. I don't know. I don't want. Yeah, I don't want convincing, but I do want translating. So, yeah, I thought of it as in literally translating as well as in arbitraging just English knowledge versus Spanish language, and trying to bring the concepts I take from the Anglosphere to the Spanish meme sphere or to the Spanish internet sphere. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm that good of a translator in that sense. I'm not sure exactly how I could approach this. I'm not sure exactly if I do think I'm bridging. If I have to say in what senses I'm a bridge between worlds, I would say the Anglosphere and my home culture. I'm kind of a bridge in that, but I don't feel as arraigado, que se dice en español, as like settled into the home culture to feel like I can like receive something and take it there, and vice versa. I don't feel as settled in the Anglosphere to be able to say like, okay, well, in Spain we do these things, because I'm not sure if I can like globally apply these things, you know. But yeah, that's one sense. I also feel some kind of sense of bridge between like the West and the East, in a sense, like personified, because of my background and because of, interests, because curiosity. It's just because my background. I guess there are a lot of people who are curious about it because of anime and all that shit, and I get it, and I'm kind of like that as well. That's kind of a factor. But yeah, in my case, I feel like it's a deeper pillar of my being, I guess, because it's just like something that I've been kind of noticing for a long time, for basically, since I was a little kid, and people try to push you away and all that, and try to big box you into things. And I have seen this evolution on how Asian people are perceived. But from the early days and now. all those things. And yeah, among disciplines, I also feel that I'm kind of this bridge between worlds person. Or, for example, I don't know. I feel like I have seen the physical, I have seen physical engineering and how that works, and that's how I'm trained to. I have studied the physics of the world in an engineering sense, so not really the physics, but kind of, you get it, right? The mechanics, how shit works actually, like how you get shit to the practical level. How the fuck do you design a little gear that will go inside a transmission? It's like, there are a lot of assumptions, there are a lot of models, there are a lot of things, and those things I think are kind of my vibe. I have seen like the practical. And I also like have some training in software, so I feel like I can also deal with abstractions in a sense, right? I have some kind of this knowledge of abstractions and all that. Not sure how to explain it, but yeah, basically how you in software deal with these made up structures and these O of n, O low of n, which are kind of more generic concepts that are not based on, well, they are kind of based in computing and all that, but I think you people get what I mean. Well, if there's anyone watching, I don't think so. Lol, that rephrasing came out of the blue. Okay, yeah, that was nice. Oops. Thought experiment I'd love to sprint to my clients. Suppose you were given some land and tasks with making some kind of theme park. You don't have to worry about money. It just has to represent your values at the deepest, highest level. I always think that I would want to build a racetrack. I don't know. It would be very racetrack oriented, I think. But I'm inspired as well by Legoland. I like Legoland as well. So I don't know. I think something I really love from Legoland is the place where they have the little buildings made of Lego that represent like every part of the world. I really love that part of Legoland. And on Legoland, I had always wanted to go driving in the little driving school that they have in Legoland. But when I went to Legoland, I was too old, and it was like kind of pointless. But yeah, something like that. They would like some kind of racetrack. Yeah, I think I would like a mix of this racetrack, of this little museum of the world, of kind of little seeing the world from a top and down view, but a lot of it, right? Seeing like all the variety and all those things, but trying to like get the details right, you know, because that's I think what's kind of magical about Legoland, that in those little miniatures they pay a lot of attention to detail. So you will see like the little minifigure doing the little thing, and it kind of fits the vibe, you know. If it's Little Italy, Lego Italy, the miniature thing has like a little pizza or something like that, or is wearing a really Italian minifigure thing, something like that. I like that attention to detail in the little things, like in getting, or for example, something that came to mind related to this. For example, Robin Schulz? No, Andrew Schulz. This guy, he's a comedian, and he kind of makes this I would say, the word that came to mind was racist. He makes this kind of racist jokes, but they are the kind of racist jokes that the people from that race would make to others, you know? It's like they are really empathetic racist jokes. He really gets the vibe, he really gets the culture of someone. He will go like an extra level deep. Instead of saying black people, whatever, he will go like Igbo Nigerians be like Yoruba Nigerians do X thing, you know? He will go the extra mile to care about how Igbos and Yorubas have beef between each other. And in that he will, I don't know, he brings something good. Or for example, same with Asian people, he doesn't say Asian people X, he will say something like related to Vietnamese people specifically, how they, these kind of small little things he pays attention to, and I like that. So yeah, in the museum I would like something like this. You know, something who, if you go to see, for example, Little Spain in Lego, and you see like the little grandma sitting in outside a White House, and there are like a group of 3 grandmas sitting outside the porch, people would see that and say, okay, this guy has paid attention, right? And that the grandma thing is just an example, and it probably happens all around the world. Like in Romania, probably people do that, and in Brazil, and yeah, I tweeted about that some days ago, and apparently it's kind of a global phenomenon. But yeah, those kind of things, you know. I would like something like that, and I also would like a car museum and a fashion museum. There is already one in Malaga, which is like a car and fashion museum, and I'm curious about what that is. So I will have to go there to visit before I build my own. But yeah, I don't know. I think that they are somewhat related. I don't know. I like them both, even if it may not look like it. I do like it, and I do. Yeah, I'm curious about it. I don't know a lot, but I think they are related. They are related in several different ways. There are several ways in which they are related, and I'm curious about how the interaction between those would be, and like the collision of those different publics, what would it bring. Yeah, so that kind of theme park, I guess. Some kind of racetrack, plus car museum, plus fashion type thing. Not sure in museum or whatever. Plus, like little Legoland theme park of showing the world, basically, of capturing the world in a small way. Oh shit. Okay. So with the theme park thumb experiment, they give me 2 answers: the theme park that they want and the theme park that they should want. I'm not sure what theme park I should want. I'm not sure if I've answered that. Maybe that was the theme park I think I should want. That's my problem, that I don't really know. And imagine both as branches of the same creative tree. Yeah, I guess maybe that's what's happening. I may be using, yeah. For example, the car thing is my legacy thing. That's like the thing I've always cared about, and I keep still caring about it, but I'm not sure if it's due to legacy or due to actual interest. I think it's probably both. And the fashion thing is the newer thing. That's like the thing that legacy didn't care about it, but now lately I am seeing like this. I'm caring about it more, and trying to see more, trying to get more of that side of interest towards my regular whatever. And I don't know, there's always the things I should want. I think this goes to the revealed preferences versus the how do you call it? The other thing that is not real preferences, you get it. So in that you see that, for example, maybe this is the thing that I think I should want, and the actual theme park I would want would be just me, just like a VR theme park of Twitter screens all around me, or what, because that's what I do all day, right? I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure if that's what Visa means with that. I don't think that's what I really want, though. I don't think I want to just lay around all day on Twitter without ever meeting anyone and all that, you know. I do think that I want this hub of curiosity that is somehow multiple branched or whatever. I don't know. And also in the theme park there are a lot of things missing. Hostia. Ha pasado una furgoneta aquí. Bueno. Yeah, in the theme park there are a lot of things missing that I would consider important. I don't know. But I think I could shoehorn those in other ways. For example, the cultural aspect and all that can be, and the traveling thing can be boiled down to the little minifigure Lego things, and the, for example, cars from X cultures and all that in the museum thing, or racing, or whatever. I don't know, some kind of the discussing shit, random shit with people on Twitter. I don't know. I think that those are kind of broad enough, even though they look quite niche, that something could be said. Like I could eventually shoehorn something that I want to both of those. And something that what are those some things that you want that you're thinking of then? I'm thinking kind of gender discourse thing and all that. I think fashion takes a lot of care of that, and fashion is kind of a big component of this where that gets discussed and all that. And also, I don't know, I'm thinking of like rationalist type discussions and like science kind of, I don't know, whatever the rationalists do on Twitter, which is, I guess, complaining about shit. I think lately it's this gender discourse thing, and the transgender thing as well. But yeah, sometimes also like COVID and all that. So the people, or like the war in Ukraine, I don't know, I think like the vehicles as part of it is kind of related in some way, I don't know, to science maybe, to these kind of engineering methods. I don't know, I think there is a spot for that, you know. I think even you could shoehorn those kind of type of rationalist discussions into my museum, well, my theme park. Okay, let's go back. So the theme park, blah blah blah. Okay, even Zoom calls I can often feel people's body language change as they open up and relax over the course of this conversation. Okay, maybe you have felt my body language relax over the course of this live stream. Who knows? And because they didn't quite give themselves permission to consider the possibilities, feeling like they're cheating on their primary project. Yeah, I don't think I have a primary project right now, so maybe the discussion started a bit like that, already a bit chaotic, but yeah, probably that happened. Thinking about the theme park thing really kind of makes me think, okay, what is missing from the theme park? So yeah, I think it was a good prompt. Thanks, Visa. And yeah, written well, a one-page story of your journey up to the point you're at. Difficulties, curiosities, trumps, frustrations is a very powerful one to get people on your side. People often speak it out in conversation. I help point out strong leads. Yeah, I don't really like talking about some of those aspects. So I guess that's kind of what's holding my story back a little bit, and what's making maybe what could seem easy from the outside, but I don't want to explain why it actually isn't easy, or maybe something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I could probably try to do a better job, even if I'm not exactly thinking about it. Too explicitly, or revealing too much of what I don't want to reveal. I don't know, we will see. Or maybe I will one day have to reveal everything. Who knows? Mm. Who would you be most excited to work with? Why? What would be the most incredible thing that could happen to your project business operation? Why? How could we make that more likely? What are some intermediate steps? Yeah, who would you be most excited to work with? Why? This is actually a very hard question, and that doesn't have a single answer. Some people I have been very excited to work with in the past. I have applied to one job in these past whatever months, and it has not been a software development job. It has been a video editing job for a YouTuber I really admire from here, from Spain. And yeah, I applied and got rejected, but I got rejected in a nice way. And yeah, so that person I was really excited to work with. I feel troubled because I'm not super excited about some of the things, but I kind of do believe I fuck with the vision. But yeah, the groundwork and all that, I'm not exactly sure if I would be strongly correlated with that. But the person for whom I applied to, Jaime Altozano, he really is someone I would like to work with. Maybe not for, maybe yes for, I don't know. What would be the most incredible thing that could happen to your project business operation? Why? How could we make that more likely? What are some intermediate steps we could define? I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind is just money, a check, getting a check. And not the next best thing, but something in the equal level to money would be like people. Just, I don't know, people who fuck with the vision. Okay, let's define actually project business operation here. I was thinking of the traveling and making videos. Basically getting out of my fucking house and going to other places to just fuck around and make videos there. That was my project that I had in mind. And for that, the most incredible thing would be either money or like these connections. Example, you need money for an Airbnb and for the flight. Easy, right? I know where I want to go, and I know what equipment I would need. So, yeah, I know that. But next thing, what would the most incredible thing? Okay. Then the other incredible thing, people. For some places, I do want someone. I don't want someone inside. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you work at, I don't know, if you live in the Chicago and you have access to the parking spaces and that, if you live in big towers that have this school, and who is curious about why I'm curious about that, you know, I would say, okay. And yeah, but I would need more to go, you know, so the more is always like something. How could, because I need money to travel to place, because they have some aligned with the vision, cares about. It's not even that you have to be aligned with the vision, it's that you have to trust on whatever the fuck I want to say will be of sense to anyone. And that's the problem, that I don't think anyone will be like that. Because I haven't done a good enough job to explain it, I think, first, but also other things. And okay, how could we make that more likely? What are some? How could we make that more likely? Yeah, maybe I could make a better job of explaining concrete things that I want, so I have them or in reference for whatever they come up serendipitously, I guess. That's my kind of best guess approach to this scenario right now. Comfortable reaching out to people. Yeah. I'm banking on people finding me, which is maybe a fucking stupid idea, but for the moment I'm kind of like that right now. What are some intermediate steps we could define? I guess some kind of right document of the 3 or 4 kinds of people that you would be interested in having contacted with you, or having, sorry for the bad English, you get it. Make a list of kind of the 5 people that you would really like to contact you because they have this kind of opportunity, or because they have something like that going for them, or some, they could help me out with these things I want to be helped out with. They want to share something, they would actually want the help too of me sharing whatever they're doing in exchange of them showing me what they're doing. Yeah, that thing, right? And maybe even paying for my flight back and something like that. And for fucking well, I could do the video with the cameras I have, but for a drone, I like drones, and for buildings especially. Qualify the clients you want and disqualify the clients you do not want. Yeah, I don't know, clients I want. Yeah, I come back to the friendly, ambitious nerd place, you know? I think that that triple combo is just so fucking powerful. And in the clients, I do want the clients to be ambitious too, you know? I want the client, if the client perceives that I'm not doing as best as I could be doing, I want them to share it. And maybe their perception is correct, or maybe it's not correct. But I would want, if those feelings arise because of something, I want them to like be taken care of. For example, if I were to make a video and blah blah blah, and they feel like I am not showing their product enough, I want them to raise that concern, so that, because they are ambitious about what they want the thing to do, they are ambitious and they want this thing to really have an impact on their sales or whatever. And then my response would probably be something like, okay, but you are not thinking in the big picture enough. This shit is not going to help you sell whatever. This shit is going to fucking build brand. You know, this is not conversion type shit. If you want to convert, you need to do other things. This is not conversion, this is branding. And for branding, you cannot look at those numbers, you cannot be focused, you know, those kind of conversation. And maybe sometimes he would say, that drone shot fucking sucks. I want something that is really more polished. This doesn't look like a movie. And then I would say, okay, you are right. That drone shot sucked. I'm going to go back and redo it. That kind of shit, you know. Someone that keeps me on my toes, but that is friendly enough to accept when the thing is going bad for me, and when I cannot do something more, but who does want to push for more, and who is ambitious enough to want more, and who is curious enough to like listen to what I have to say, but also to find out more, to learn, basically. That kind of client. And that I don't want, pues I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I would say. Okay, I'm back. So, qualify the clients you want, disqualify the clients you do not want. Okay, clients that I do not want. Someone who does not fit, I guess, all three of those archetypes. Although maybe, as always, the ambitious one is the least one. If you want to pay me modest amounts of money for modest amount of work, fuck it, I'll take it. You know? As long as you are friendly and you are curious. If you are not curious about what you want from me, yeah, I think, for example, this is an example of the small contract I had. Well, contract, it wasn't a contract, I think, but the small work I did for Visa, I think that had the friendly part and the curious part. He was curious about something, he paid something, but he didn't have the ambitious thing. Or at least enough of the ambitious thing. Or a mix of the curious plus ambitious thing, I don't know. Basically, that I did do some work, it wasn't the vibe, but there was not enough curiosity, I guess, to find out what could be next. Or there was not enough ambition for the thing, you know. So, but I will take it, and I thought it was a nice experience. Some notes I left in a doc with one of my clients. There is the thing. I zero in on whatever I think is the most compelling and deserving of extra. Okay. I'm not the right coach for you if. What homework do you give people? Should be a TikTok. Describe this. I zero in on whatever I think is most compelling and deserving of extra attention, detail, love. Yeah, maybe I could do this for myself, as in zeroing in on what I think is most deserving of attention, blah, blah, blah. But I think that's the task of him, I guess. Like the task of the external person. If I do it myself, well, maybe I could. It's not the same, but yeah, it could probably be useful. One big recurring one is to think and talk in terms of big open questions. What are you trying to answer? That takes topics into nouns. Topics as nouns and turns them into verbs. How much we use better to collaborate better. You want to set up a mystery to solve. What open questions are you personally compelled to address? What do you want to learn more about? That invites people to join in on your quest. Have I not talked about this already? I feel like this is, yeah, I guess he says it's the same expedition thing. What are your open questions? I mean, everything is an open question at this point, I think. What are you trying to answer? So, my open questions. I don't know, I keep thinking about the same shit. Like, sorry. How will I get money? But that's, I guess, not an open question in the sense of what he wants to ask. I think he wants to ask kind of more. Okay, let's see if there's some example. What open questions are you personally compelled to address? How might we use words to collaborate better? I don't know, I'm kind of too focused on myself, so the questions would be like, how do I fit in your puzzle? Or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. These open questions make it think that it's all fucking pointless, I guess. But because I don't exactly, I guess, like, I don't know what the grand ambition is. I don't know what the end of the expedition is. I don't know. Well, the expedition is towards kind of the internet, I guess, towards connection from people far away, but trying to care about, try to care as much about it as if you were there, but from far away. Because it's now kind of possible. Before it wasn't. And I feel like there is so much there. But I don't know exactly. I think there is some kind of person who is like this, right? Who, for some reason or another, cares more. Or ends up caring more about something that's happening in the other side of the world than what is happening around them. And I think some people think that is bad. And I don't think it's that bad if you play your cards right. You know? If you get consumed and stop getting curious and let that paradox kind of take a hold of you and stop you from engaging with the people around you and all that, I think then it becomes bad, you know? I think, example, because I don't think I've been clear enough. If you're, for example, an American, and you're focused on the Russia-Ukraine war, for example, and you're like this kind of online brained people who are like all the time just, I don't know, posting these kind of Russia-Ukraine memes or whatever. I'm thinking of the Ukrainian side because that's like the thing. And are so far upon that territory that you kind of disconnect of what's going around you, then I think that's bad. But if you, in that thing, you kind of find the connections that you truly have towards that, because for example, if you're an American there, it's like Biden is probably doing a lot of shit there, or like sending whatever, and sending American equipment, and you find like this American connection there, and you find that there are people around you who are like that. I don't know. I think you guys get the vibe, you know? If you find yourself finding, like, instead of detaching yourself from your community, you either find a new community, but still relatively close, I mean, you know, still with American people or whatever, or do like some kind of annual meetup in some place to help Ukraine or raise money for Ukraine, right? If it doesn't stop you from that, then I think it's something that is so fucking powerful and so fucking beautiful from the world today, you know? But that there is this risk of that thing. And there is this kind of paradox of disregarding your community, your born-in community, in favor of the far away. But I think that that paradox is solvable. I think that you can bring the outside back to you and be successful at that. Hero's journey type shit, you know? That you can virtually help others and in turn come back to the real world having helped someone, and that these kind of impacts are real, you know? I think that there is something there to it. And I said something about the Russia-Ukraine war thing, but I'm talking about even in the most menial sense, you know? If you're someone who watches anime, and it's like full fucking weeaboo and, yeah, level N3 in Japanese and all that. and you go, it's like, and you use your Japanese knowledge and all that to fucking be a nerd, an isolated nerd and all that, then that fucking sucks, you know? That it's like you lost your community. Well, not lost, because maybe you didn't have one in the first place, but you got further away from your community, from your local born community, and you didn't find a new one, right? It's like you didn't accomplish finding one. But if you, in the paradox of caring a lot about anime, you come back to your community and form the local anime club, you have ventured outside, gotten something, and came back to the hometown, the village, and heroes journeyed your way into something powerful, right? You have done something that could not have been done in the past, which is like be a fucking anime nerd, and still have gotten something positive to it and have gotten some kind of actual, tangible, real life benefit from that. And I think that's fucking powerful, you know? I'm kind of thinking in those terms. And I'm not sure what was the question. What are you trying to answer? Yeah, I guess this is what I'm trying to answer. This is how I'm trying to fit in, you know? It's like, why the fuck am I doing this? And I'm thinking of this right now because it has actually happened. I had gone to the, how do you say it? Bueno, voy a parar. I'm going to pause. Hola. Oye, que estoy debajo. Okay, so what was I saying? That has actually happened to me, you know? I have already experienced this thing of good things. I have yeah, whatever. I have met someone. The real world has rewarded me with something that came from these fake worlds, you know? That has already happened to me. I have met one person who found me through Twitter, but through the fake part of Twitter, through the San Francisco online way, but I have met them in real life in my country, which is kind of fucking insane. I think about that. So this is kind of what is pulling me so hard in that direction, you know? Instead of thinking that it's pointless, it is kind of this fucking strong signal that this is not the case. That these things can actually happen. And if these things can happen for friendship or whatever, or for like meeting people, it's like they for sure can happen for other things, you know, that have money in the involved. And yeah, not only money, but these things, right? This sharing of things, because it needs money, but the money is not the point for me. The point is like be able to do the thing, like to find something out about somewhere far away and to be able to share it. And this perspective, I think, is kind of what's cool about it. I don't know. Yeah, I think I was too in the faraway point. I think I was too lost in the faraway. I was this kind of weeb, not literally, but in the example of the weeb, I was the weeb who knows Japanese and all that, but has not gone to Japan and is not finding community in Japan, but also who has lost all his friends because his friends don't literally want to talk about anime. I was feeling in that kind of sense. I was feeling like I was losing my touch with reality, you know? Well, not reality, but with like my close surroundings of real life. Because the thing about reality is that reality is so fucking big that focusing just on this local shit sometimes, to me, makes me lose perspective. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just rambled too much and I didn't even answer to the what are your open questions. Yeah, I think that let's try to figure out if I can come up with some kind of open question that is concise. So, open question. Let's see. Some kind of where is my place? Well, what is my place in this global thing? Well, in this, what is my role in this global network of connected minds in a way that accurately or in a real way, as in real to me, connects me both to the things happening far away, but also that has repercussions in the things that are happening close to me. That kind of vibe is what I'm thinking about. That's kind of one open question. What is my role in that? And if I had to frame that as a how can you help me question, is like, what is, I guess I would just say our role in that, in the two things. And if I don't know, if I had to frame it in this open question, as in this is an open question that I am asking the world. It's like, how can we, I guess, right? And in we, there is a very clear defined we. Well, okay, first I'm going to ask the question and then I'm going to say who is we. How can we figure out how, it's like, how can we figure out a good balance between caring about the things far away and having their impacts felt close to us? That is my question. And the we is that those kind of people who do feel this kind of, I guess, lack of community, or who feel this, who have initially felt this kind of lack of connection towards their born-in community for whatever reason. Some people because of nerdiness, some people because of just being ugly, I don't know. Some people because of their parents are immigrants, some people because of other things. I think there are many reasons for that. Some people maybe because of the gender things or whatever. Maybe some people because of their Nazi beliefs. I would, yeah, who knows? So yeah, there is always possibilities for shit to go strange, but those kind of things. And I think that's kind of my open question. And my answer, paradoxically, well, not paradoxically, I think, because I have just said how the answer is in the little details, you know. I have just said how I think that the answer from my Lego theme park is in the little details. So I think that what I'm trying to say is not that paradoxical. Like trying to make videos about the cars that I like, and trying to make videos about the buildings that I like in the places that I like, is actually the answer to that question, you know? How the fuck are you going to find community if you don't, you know, you cannot say, I want to find community and find community. You have to find community in the common things, not paradoxically, like just etymologically, you know? So you have to find things, the object level things that you care about. And sometimes the object level things are kind of meta, and people like meta things, discussing meta things like I do. I fucking love that shit. I don't know why I do it so much, but yeah. And that's, I think, why these post-rationalist, well, or these rationalist discourse things happen, because people just want to fucking discuss, okay, but why, and want to ask the okay, but why question like 75 times. And that in itself is an object level thing, so that's why the rationalist community happened. But you have to find your object level thing, and my object level thing, I think, is somewhat adjacent to that car things, and somewhat adjacent to the clothes thing. It's kind of all in there, and yeah, that's why yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That's kind of the mystery I want to solve. That open question. Whoa, that's what a great prompt, Lisa. Thanks. Okay, and I'm getting tired and I'm only halfway through my notes, blah blah blah. Okay, so I think this is a good time to end it. This is the thread has ended, and yeah, bye.